Sam Raimi is going to die. We all are. But in his movies, he seems acutely aware of that fact. I see Sam Raimi's career as a 50-year arc of a man and his mortality. When he started his cinematic Dance with Death, Sam Raimi was a teenager. And teenagers feel invulnerable. But he still understood that death was a thing, and that it was coming. He just felt it wasn't coming yet. And so his first film was a shootout with his friends, with pop guns. He would make movies like Attack of the Pillsbury Doughboy, and he would make his first feature film while in high school as a teenager, and it was a murder mystery, where he played the killer. And the last shot of the film was his own severed head on a silver platter, literally laughing its head off. To teenage Sam Raimi, death was something to be played with and laughed at. But then he left high school, and immediately death, not just dying, but the concept of death itself, became an unstoppable terror. In The Evil Dead, Within the Woods, and so many others, the dead themselves rise to bring the living back down with them. And protagonist after protagonist is running from their own death. And by the time he's making Spider-Man, he is married, he has children, and like Peter, he is no longer just afraid for his own death, but he is afraid for the death of the people he loves. And Peter is grieving the death of the people he loves in a way that might have given Sam Raimi a chance to explore what might happen if he lost a member of his own family. And by the time we finish his next movie, Drag Me to Hell, where the literal actual premise is running not just from dying, but from death itself, we understand why he is so afraid. He is not afraid of it all ending. He is afraid of what happens next. Because every time we get a hint at Sam Raimi's afterlife, it is an afterlife to be feared. It is flame and shadow, it is fire and brimstone, it is weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth, the shrieks of 1,000 damned souls whose only joy is in tormenting the mortals who may someday join them. But then his career took a sharp turn as he worked with the Make-A-Film Foundation to make the Black Giandola for a dying child. Yet again, the dead come back, but this time, the living person, played by the dying child, knows he is not getting out of this alive, and willingly, and literally, hands the keys of life to someone else. Maybe that's why in Multiverse of Madness, death is both an enemy and an ally, and his protagonist, who has died 1,000,000 times, doesn't even blink at his own death. His is a 50-year career of learning that we are all living corpses piloted by our own ghosts. And that maybe that's okay. That when death comes for him, he can simply say, "Hello, old friend."